So, yeah, I don't look beautiful today. But I don't think I really come on here and did like legit readings and like I used to do on Periscope. Man, I miss Periscope already. It is like I miss Periscope already. I was thinking, okay, for some reason I was thinking that today was the 31st, and I was like, oh, I can log in and I can be like, one final broadcast, tell everybody bye, and shoot the shiz and all that. And then it was like, I woke up and it was the first. It was like, freaking dang. So I'm like, well, yeah, I'll do a Periscope. So not a Periscope, a Haps. So I don't know how many people have actually like found me on here from Periscope. So hey, thank you. I don't know. I'm kind of scared of this app because I've heard so many people say that like it's really hard if you use profanity, things like that. And realistically, if you know me, you know I have like a sailor's mouth. And so, hola, ¿cómo estás? So I'm like really paranoid that I'm going to get banned from here. So I'm trying to think of other places I can go. I still haven't like experimented and seen what, like Twitter is. I've never did a live broadcast on Twitter, so I don't know how that works. So I'm kind of, let's see if we can turn this. And, hey, Luke. Um, let's see if I can flip this camera. Say hi. So I just chilling on the couch. I'm watching the movie Soul. 22 is my favorite. So that's my coffee creamer canister my mom gave me that I think is just amazing. It's one of my favorite toys. And it's a coffee creamer. It's a coffee creamer. Yes. Oh, there's your 22. Yeah, he's in love with 22. He got, my dog is like terrible. He got an actual Happy Meal. And the 22 toy was in the Happy Meal. And he fell in love with it. It's the only cloth toy he's had that he is not totally destroyed and deconstructed in like freaking 5 minutes. And so I was like, I wonder if he watches the movie, which is like Disney Soul, and he sees 22 on the big screen, how he's going to react. So I put it on earlier, and he was like, for 2 seconds, he ran and he got his toy, and he came back and he said the TV and he dropped his toy and he looked at it and he was like, what the hell? And he was back and forth for a second, and then he just like forgot all about it. I'm kind of partial because I just love him. So naturally, I think he's the cutest thing in the world. However, I had a couple people tell me he's ugly. And I think some of it is because about a month and a half ago, he was playing with his toy and he smacked himself in the eye and his eyelid got all funky. I didn't know that dogs actually had three eyelids. And he had one, his bottom eyelid got severely infected. And so I was paranoid as hell he was going to lose his eye. And so we had to do like 2 rounds of antibiotics. We had to give the eye drops. Then it had to kind of like try to patch it. Have you ever tried to put a patch on your dog's eye? Let me just tell you, it don't work. Not at all. That was hell. My dog looked at me like I was high as hell. He looked like a pirate for roughly 2 seconds. So, all right. Well, I guess what I can do is I don't know how this works. I don't know if you guys like share the broadcast out to let people know I'm on here and I'm reading. Like I said, I've never really broadcast from here. So, yeah, I was kind of upset when they said my dog looked ugly. I think he's cute. Yeah, even though his eye is starting to get tired, so it's drooping. He's a monster. Ugh, he's my big 60-pound monster. So, I will be doing readings tonight. In the next day or so, I'm going to try to figure out Twitter also, just as a backup, because if they screw me up and ban me on here, it's a fallback, And if you followed me on Periscope, my name was SA_Ivy Black. It's the same thing on Twitter. So if you haven't followed me there, follow me there. That way we can keep in touch. Facebook, you can find me Reads by Ivy Black at any point. Or, if you know me, you can find me Ivy Black on Facebook, and I'll friend you. I'm not really friending a lot of people that I haven't really interacted with a lot because I get a lot of weird requests from really weird people just simply because of what I do. And so I am kind of watching my personal page a little more than I used to. Because used to I'd be like, and you get in, and you get in. Did you bump the table? It moves when you hit it. Because you big fat dog, you weigh 60 pounds. I know. Tell about it. Give it hell. No, you're not getting that. Hi. Okay, we got Julie up in here. So Julie, you will be first tonight. Let me put you right here. Excuse me. Sorry, my dog is extremely vocal. I don't know. I've tried to like do some diggings. Absolutely. In order to get a reading, and I do it by list, you have to make a $5 or more donation, and that's per question. You can pay through PayPal, Cash App, or Venmo. I believe I put it in my bio, the information for the payment options. Oh my gosh, sir. No, I'm not talking to you right now. What? I'm not talking to you. I'm talking to people on here. Okay, stop. Stop. Shh. We don't want to play right now. You're still grumpy. Yes. You're grumpy. Who's the boy talking to me? Is he trustworthy? Are you talking about the guy in chat? Well, the readings are not free. They're done by donation. So if you want a reading, you have to make a minimum of $5 or more donation to my PayPal, Cash App, or Venmo. And if you've not had me read you before, I'm not familiar with your name. Please put your name in the bio. That way, you know, like when you make the donation, I can be like, hey, look, so I know who you are. Because sometimes the names don't match up on payment apps as they do here. So, Miss Julie, let's get you going. So that was your... Is that your question? Who's this boy talking to me? Is he trustworthy? Is that your question that you wanted me to answer? Or were you talking about Luke just fucking grumbling and talking? Because, you know, he talks about every damn thing. Nosy as hell, too. Thinks he's going to be in it. All about it. All the time. So. All right, well, Julie, let's get you situated. Hello, Miss Stacy. How you doing, sweetie? So we just want to get a vibe on this dude to see what he is. If he's legitimate or if he's... We're just going to open ourselves and do it as a general because I think that would be the most informative. Male mirage. Guys, I miss Scope. I wish they had not took it away from us. It's just not the same on other apps. It just doesn't feel right. All right, so I'm just going to do this as a general. That way we can see, like, hopefully more information. Because honestly, it just flat out didn't feel like a romantic kind of thing when you were talking about it, the questioning. And so, first thing that comes up is you have the Six of Pentacles in a reverse position. So I don't actually think he's trying to gain anything from you. Like, I don't think he's trying to con you or, like, get money out of you. Hello, Yazine. I think I said that right. I hope I said it right. And St. Petersburg. So, like I was saying, Six of Pentacles in reverse. I don't think he's trying to gain anything from you, like financially. You have Temperance in a reverse position. So I feel like for some reason he's already getting on your nerves. You also have Judgment in reverse. So I feel like for whatever reason, you feel like you just absolutely cannot trust this individual. I don't know what is making you feel that way. I don't know if maybe, how do I put this? You have the Eight of Wands that comes up. So to me, that's more of a personal card for you, making me feel like for whatever reason you doubt that someone would even be interested in talking to you. Hi, Ken. So I'm hoping you're making sense of the bits and pieces that I've gotten so far, and we're going to add it together and make sense of it. Please stop. Please stop, sir. Now, the Ace of Pentacles comes up in a positive. This does not feel financial. So to me, when you're dealing with Pentacles, and it's not in the physical possession sense, it's mental. And so with it being an upright, it feels like you're enjoying it mentally. They're stimulating you so that, you know, it's not, I don't see anything negative here. Okay, that's you. Okay. Like I said. Oh, thank you. Questions are done by donation. It's either through PayPal, Venmo, or a Cash App, and it's $5 or more. The more you donate, the more information you get. So I do not see anything negative here. I really, really don't. I mean, like I said, with that first card, I don't see them trying to get anything out of you, like them trying to manipulate you for financial gain or for them to take something from you in a negative. So I don't see anything negative here. To me, it seems like a lot of your judgment against him is simply because of that Eight of Wands. It's because you can't grasp why someone would be interested in you. And that is like, that's all on you. And that's because you have had so many negative experiences. And I really feel like because of that, you're letting it carry on to this situation and jade your perspective of it. You know, I'm one. If I seen red flags, you know me. You've been with me for Periscope forever. If I saw red flags, I would be pointing them out. I'd be like, okay, you need to deal with this. You need to avoid this person, whatever. I just don't get it. To me, I don't see anything like that. It seems like they're legit. And I feel like when you have conversations with them, when you speak with them, it seems like, they mentally stimulate you. They make you feel good. And it seems like they're pulling you out of a shell that you've been in for a long time emotionally. So even if this is not a forever type thing, because at this point you don't have any cup cards, which would be love and romance. So either this is brand freaking new or you've not had time to commit to it. But I do feel like good things are already coming out of it. You're already getting, pulled out of your shell. You're already expanding and in some ways being woke up from a deep sleep by this person. So far, nothing negative is here. So even if it's just a transitional thing, just to get you to the next spot or to get you out of your own funk so you can be open to it, I don't see anything bad. I would continue talking to this individual. Like I said, it seems very new because there is no cup cards, but I do see positive coming from it. Let me open my back door so this little boy can go pee. Yeah, buddy. I'm going to leave that cracked. I'm going to leave it cracked, sure, dog. Oh, my hip popped. Oh, my hip popped. So, yeah, you got my blessings. Talk to this individual. Even like I said, if it's just a transitional thing to get you to the next point, I see nothing scary with this person. So, you got Abby's blessings. Now, ask another question because that was fairly simple. And you made a donation, and that was kind of quick. So, you got another one? You got something else you want to know? All right. If you guys want to get on the list and you're in here watching it is a minimum donation of $5 or more. This is my day job. I have done this for 31 years. It's the only job I've ever had. So I do also offer half-hour and hour-long reads privately. So, that way, because you do a half-hour, you're going to have a lot come up, and it's not everybody's business. I don't really want to put it on social media. One question, you can't really get people up in your business too much. So I feel safe doing those. So if you want to schedule a half-hour or an hour, you can just message with me. I'll get to you. So, all right. This is the first time I broadcast on here. It feels really weird. the comments are just different than they are on actually Periscope too. D Moore. Are you my D Moore or are you another D Moore? There's so many people in here. I wonder if this is my people from Periscope. I know a D Moore. I'm trying to figure out if you're the D Moore I know in real life or if you're just like a D Moore online. And Lee, are you Lee from Periscope? I'm going to have to get used to all you guys naming here. Hey, D. You're my real life D. You know what? You never got to see me work. So here, ask me a question. I'll give you one on the house. I don't think I've ever done any kind of work in front of you. This is the first time I've actually broadcast on here. Okay, yay. See, I'm going to have to get acquainted with you guys' names because I know what they were on Periscope. But I don't know what they were here. So. My peeps finding me. There's like 51 people in here watching right now. And you guys are just not scrolling comments. So, Dee, since you've never seen me work, you can ask me a question. And I will answer you one. I was curious because it was like, that's one letter off only. That surely has to be. I tried to click and see the name and see the picture of the profile and all. And it was like tiny. My blind ass. I got new glasses too. Same kind as before. The prescription's much stronger. Damn eye doctor's like, you're going blind. And I'm like, well, there's not a lot of shit I really want to see. So I'm kind of okay with that. Just don't let me go deaf because if I don't have music, I will totally straight out shank the hell out of someone. And I forgot I'm on apps. I can't talk about acts of violence. I had to be good on here. I was going to do it the other day. Okay. So you understand, okay, you know who Ra is. So you know what he symbolizes and kind of what his, I guess the things he covers is. You'll understand what I'm saying. So, you have to look, when you get called by a deity or someone to actually work with them, you have to kind of look at what they represent and how that is being something that's significant in your life at this point. So you're looking at Ra, the sun god. So, you're going to have to focus on where are you shining your light? Where are you not shining your light? Where are you putting energy and effort? And what are you doing to kind of put yourself out there? So typically, it does feel a lot different here. So typically, like when people, in my opinion, are contacted by him, it's a situation where they've suppressed themselves. They've not allowed themselves to be out there to kind of hold themselves high and just kind of, find their own worth in self and let themselves shine. Something you could actually do so that, because to me, I could give you a message, but I feel like you need to hear it yourself. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to tell you how to connect. Since he is directly connected to the sun, what you need to do is you need to just basically see yourself in meditation and where your heart is. Just envision it as initially this tiny dot and watch it glow and get brighter and brighter and brighter. So it's like the sun. And as you look at it, it get brighter and brighter to the point that your sun, your eyes can barely see the outline, see the perimeter. You know what it is, it's there, and just focus on it. And you ask that he, whatever you want to call it, step forward with the message that he wishes to give you. And he'll usually step right out of that and right there. And usually you hear it audibly. Now, is it going to be external audible? No, usually it's inward. But, I do think that the message, like I said, typically is that you need to let yourself shine. You need to quit getting in your way. You need to kind of live your passion, because when we talk about our sunshine, it's not necessarily us getting out there and doing things in the
where everybody can see it. A lot of times it's our own personal sun. It's our own way of shining. And a lot of it comes from inward. You know, what feeds us, what fuels us, what makes us glow from the inside and makes our spirit grow. So where are your passions? Why are you not living them? Why are you putting them on the back burner? You know, if he's calling to you, it's saying you need to awaken yourself and your inner power and kind of figure out what those are and go with them. So I think you do the exercise. You'll have more detail, but you definitely need to work in that direction. And yeah, Lee, it does feel a little different on here. Periscope felt much more looser. And everybody in here usually comments would be scrolling like crazy. People be laughing. No. Here's the thing. I think everybody asks, you know, is it weird talking to this deity or working with this deity or that deity? The fact is, people do it every day and they're just, thank you. People do it every day and they're not even conscious and aware of it, or either they don't know how to put a word to it or a thought to it. You know, people say, you know, I wish I could connect to the universe, or, you know, or I wish I could speak to my higher consciousness or whatever. How many times have you been in a rut, just been stressed to no freaking ends, and you say, okay, divine or God, whatever name you choose to give it, give me some kind of insight, give me something. And, you know, within minutes, it's like it just, boom, it hits you. That experience of it hitting you, it coming in, and it not being, oh, let me work my way to it. That is spirit. That's why it hits you when it hits you quickly. When you think of things, we have normal thought processes. And when we're doing it as humans, it builds upon itself. You know, we have a little thought and like, okay, if we do this, then it's going to open this opportunity and this opportunity to allow us to build. So when we have thoughts or we have, you know, aha, or even epiphanies, it's not instantaneous. It builds upon itself and we come to the conclusion. That's why people say we came to the conclusion, right? You know, I've been coming to the conclusion. It's not an instantaneous thing. So the instantaneous occurrences are divine. They are spirit. You have to learn to differentiate. Thank you. Appreciate the follow. So, you know, that's the big thing. You always, every one of us deals with the higher consciousness and energy, spirit, you know, and there's so many people have a hard time because, like, say, with example, paganism, you know, there is multiple gods and deities, but in the Christian faith, that would be no different than saints. And, you know, people don't look at the saints in a bad way, but yet they'll pray to St. Jude for lost causes, or they'll pray to St. Nick for prostitutes, you know. Um, there's, it's a way to divide your prayer up to the right people for them to handle the situation, the circumstance. It's kind of like the middleman, you know, okay? It's just like when you call a company, when you get on the phone with them, they'll say, for licensing, press 1. You know, for bills and accounts, press 2. It's just directing your prayers to a different way. That way it's not so compacted, if that makes sense. Excuse me. I spend my afternoon making pot stickers. And I kind of pigged out on them because I haven't made them in so long. And so they're like wanting to talk and be vocal. Yeah, and my nails are nasty too because I replanted like 15 plants today. Yeah, it's bad. Quarantine has been bad to me in the sense that my house is becoming a jungle. When I was young, I was very much into horticulture and had a scholarship to Auburn, didn't go. That is nice. You know, which I have to admit, I think some of the reason there were so many trolls on Periscope, and honestly, I didn't get hit with them that often. I had moments where I did, but it seems like it just rotated like a revolving door. You know, it'd be good for 3 or 4 months, and then you'd get on it in one broadcast. 2011 would come out. But that's because so many of the trolls followed trolls, and then they would share it out. So all the trolls kind of swarmed you at one time. At least here, the people do seem to be more mature in a way. I've kind of watched a few. Haven't really dove into the conversations because I'm just kind of trying to see who is here and what is here and all of that, because it is so different than Periscope. And oh God, I miss Periscope. And it feels awkward too, because I mean, I was on Periscope for years. All of us were. And just, I just hope I don't lose some of the people, because like I said in the beginning, I was wanting to go on and do another final broadcast on Periscope, and my days were off by one day and it screwed me up. So I have a new baby next door, and she has been showing her ass today. She's like, I want the titty, I want my diaper change, I want the cuddles, swaddle me, dang it. But she's cute. It's weird how newborn cries are not like toddler cries. It streams to other platforms here. See, I haven't really delved into it. I haven't, picked it apart. Ugh. We're going to hope not. We're going to cross our fingers. The one thing I have to say is the way it's set up and formatted, it seems very much like they're trying to keep it legit and problem free. Problem free. So I'm hoping that, even as it grows. Oh, I didn't even know it was on YouTube right now, which is good. Maybe that's why I set it all up. That works. But, maybe as it grows, because of the way it's set up and situated, they will not. I didn't see you come in, Allison. Maybe we won't have the Jones. Excuse me. I had to get something to drink. I took like weeks off of work. It was really funny. I went to the doctor because I thought I had a sinus infection. And he's like, yeah, you got sinus infection, ear infection. And so I came home and I had a rheumatologist appointment like 2 days later. And so I went to the rheumatologist, and she sits down, she looks at me, and she's looking at my throat all weird. And I'm like, what are you doing? And she's like, have you ever had heart issues? I'm like, not really. She's like, okay. She starts digging through my phone. She's like, well, you've had pericarditis and all of this. And I'm like, and she's like, I'm pretty confident you're in congestive heart failure right now. I'm like, shit. So she sends me to the doctor, which is in the same building. They do an EKG, and they're like, yeah, your heart's under a lot of stress, and the congestion, and the reason you can't breathe is because it's putting fluid into the lungs. So they put me on, I think it's called diuretics. You would think I would have all these heart terms down because I dealt with them with Chris, but it's totally different when it's not your circumstance and situation. And so, yeah, so they're like, yeah, you're in congestive heart failure. And so now I'm like having to be really good. So if you guys hear me cough, it's not coronavirus. It's congestive heart failure, CHF. And I also learned, and I didn't know this because I dealt with it with Chris. There's two kinds. Well, there's multiple kinds actually, but it falls under systolic, or I forget the other word, mine is systolic. So I've been dealing with that, which left me completely exhausted. And when you deal with autoimmune disorders, you stay tired anyway. And so for me, I'm so used to not feeling good that I would be more concerned if I woke up and felt wonderful one day. That's because me feeling bad is my normal. And so the doctor's like fussing me out because I haven't like said anything to her about it. And I'm like, that to me is normal. And so, yeah, I was walking like 15 feet and I would have to sit down, catch my breath, regroup before I could walk 15 more feet. It got weird. And it just, I don't know. Yeah. So now I haven't been working the last couple of weeks. I've been like taking an appointment or two a week, just trying to build me up and focusing on things that really feed my soul. That's one reason I've got like dirt all under my nails, because I've been dealing with my plants and, having fun with the pupper and the tortoise. And I'm just kind of taking care of things. And they're pushing the disability through. I had already applied, but yeah, they're like, you need to be fully on disability, which will be good because if I get the disability, then I won't have medical costs. So, yeah. That would be lovely. So, that's where I've been. That's the reason also I haven't been, broadcasting on Periscope the last little bit because, and honestly, I get so tired of my life, the drama and the chaos in it and the negative shit that happens. So I know other people do, and I had people that bitch me out. My own mother didn't even know until like yesterday. And I'm like, yeah, I was in the hospital. And she's like, the hell? I'm like, yeah. But, I get tired of discussing the negative. So I just decided I wasn't going to tell anybody anything. So if I ever just die, it'll be silent on all of my profiles and you'll know something. That's not my dog. That's the dog behind us. He's massive. That one was my dog. Agarora. So grumpy. God, he's grumpy. Hi, Miss Vicky. God, you're gorgeous. I love you, sweet souled woman. But anyway, next on the list. I don't have anybody on the list. So if anyone wants to read him, you can jump on. And that's another thing. I don't know how this works. Can we have people jump into our broadcast like we used to on Periscope? Oh, honey, it's inevitable. The doctors have already given me a time frame before this. The doctors, even before the whole heart issue and the last 4 months of life, said I had 3 to 5 years tops, because of all the other issues. And then I got COVID on top of it, which this was like a year ago. And so I already had multi-system failure, which I was hospitalized for in July, which affected the liver, kidneys, and the heart. So it's inevitable. It's inevitable. I'm just kind of, I think right now, my thing is, since I've never been able to really live. You have to invite the person in. Okay. Oh, add guests. I see it. But, I've never really lived. I mean, my beginning of my life was not beautiful. At 17, I became a mom, a wife. So, what are you grumpy at? What? Okay, I will change the channel. My gosh, do you not like that one? That was scaring you? That was scaring you? You better? Was you gonna fuck up the table? Oh, he's so fucking crazy. He is so expressive. He talks about everything. He will carry on whole conversations with you. My son laughs because he'll come over and I will say something to him and he'll like make a whole sentence and talk back. And my son's like, I swear your dog talks. But apparently there was a cartoon on TV that scared him. He loves cartoons. He'll watch them. But that one was just like, he's wild. He says words like fry. He knows what it sounds like when DoorDash gets a notification on my phone and he'll run to the door and yell out, fry, fry. So it's weird. Even the DoorDashers notice it now. I've got to try to record it. Then he'll tell you no. He'll say no. It's like, it's a mess. Okay, we're going to add a guest. Tap on a user to invite them. You have to hold on a second, Vicky. I've never done this. So I'm having to figure it out. No. Ashley Renee Dickerson. Well, it's by donation. You have to make a donation in order to get a reading. I invited you, so I don't know why it didn't come in. You might have to look on your end, Vicky, because I clicked on your profile, did what it said, and it says that you're supposed to be able to come in here. I don't know what's going on. It could just because I'm half stupid right now. I don't understand apps. I'm new to it. I'm gonna have to go in and explore, or maybe like watch some educational videos. YouTube is phenomenal for me. Periscope was much easier. It just, even like to make a live broadcast, I could go on Periscope and within like 3 clicks, I was broadcasting, and it was so simple. With this one, it's just like, I don't know, it just doesn't flow as easy. And energetically, it feels weird. I don't know if it's just because I was used to Periscope and I was partial to Periscope, but the energy feels completely different here. It feels like, I don't know if it's also because like I'm paranoid if I use obscenities, I'm going to get blocked. And maybe that fear's here. So I feel like I have to, you know how it feels like when you have to try to be your best you and it's not the genuine you. So it's kind of awkward. Like you feel like you're being watched. It's that kind of thing. And I don't mean like watching me because I'm used to people watching me, you know, from Periscope, YouTube, Facebook, here. It just feels like the man's watching you. Mm-hmm. You have a good night, Stacy, and I was so glad to see you in here. At least I know some of you made it to HAPS. And so I'm going to try. My next thing to try is, like I said, I want to go onto Twitter and see how it feels to broadcast there. Because I know a lot of my people were on Twitter also just because it was linked to Periscope. So, you know, I'm going to go and I'm going to see how that feels to broadcast there because I've not done that yet either. And if you are from Periscope and you didn't follow me on Twitter, it's the exact same name as it was on Periscope. Capital A, capital S, underscore Abby Black. So, you know, you can go find me there. And, ooh, that's appealing to know that Twitter is just like Periscope, which I guess in a way it would make sense because they were linked together. And so it kind of makes sense it would flow, you know, and it would be together. So I'm definitely probably, let's see, I might try that tomorrow night. I know I have a couple things to do. So I'm going to have to, I'm not going to set a time because I don't know how long it's going to take me to get all my things done because tomorrow I have to go and get a bunch of shit done at the doctor and nothing magnificent. They just want to do another EKG and I got to get blood panels. And I got to get a mammogram because I was supposed to have went in October, but I was terrified because I lost Chris last year to breast cancer and I lost one of my best friends to breast cancer the same week Chris died on the table, just like I lost Chris. So all things breast cancer, he freaked me the hell out last year. So I think it would go to Periscope would return, but however, I don't think it is going to because from everything I looked at online, it's like Instagram had the technologies in place. They just, not Instagram, Twitter had the technologies in place because they were pretty much over Periscope. They just didn't have them activated or whatever on their sites. So it wasn't like it cost them any money to just cut it on. And Periscope was something that cost money to maintain and all of this. And they weren't making a lot of revenue because a lot of people had quit giving super hearts and things like that because so many people were basically getting robbed from them. So people had quit buying it, which was their like main source of income. And so it's kind of like, okay, if we're not making that much money from it, we have the same technology on the same thing, you know, on Twitter. We're just going to use it there. I can't really, for me, I was super heart broadcaster. I never had problems getting payments or any of that. I did still have some on my tab when Periscope went off. I don't know if I can access that or not, but I do know a lot of people, the ones that would get massive amounts of super hearts, it never failed, they would have their accounts deleted. And so, like I said, I cashed mine in. I used mine. I never had problems. But the people that got massive amounts of super hearts, I think part of the problem was the people I noticed it happening to were the ones that got massive amounts of super hearts. Me, I didn't get like tons of them. Yeah, I got a pretty reasonable amount, but it wasn't like they were making mad bank off of me. Whereas, you're looking at people that get like millions or whatever. They take theirs, they're keeping all that profit. And so I think they just basically hit the people once they reached a certain level of super hearts, if that makes sense. So yeah. All right. Vicky, honey, I don't know why it would not let you up in this broadcast. I don't know why. I clicked on you into the broadcasting thing. So here's what we're going to do. I'm going to pick a number. Let's see how many people it says are in here. 100 people have seen this. 101. Okay. I'm going to pick a number 1 through 50. The person that either gets it or gets the closest to it, I'm going to give a free question. Just for shiz and giggles. Shiz. I said shiz. Since this is kind of my real first broadcast on here. And so the people that are in here that have never seen me work, it'll give you more of an opportunity also. Night, Lee. I'm so glad you're here. Okay. At least like I'm staying. All right. All right. Anybody else? Okay. Nobody's hit it yet. So keep making guesses. I got a number in my brain. Lee, you done make 2 guesses. These things are like crack. Okay. Anybody else? Anybody else want to take a guess? One number from 0 to 50. Throw it up there. Whoever gets the closest. Whoever gets the closest or gets the number dead on. From 0 to 50. I will give you a free question. Okay, there's one person that's close. Okay. Anybody else? We're going to do a 10-second countdown. Then I'm going to say what my number was. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4. Do not get in an argument with a dumb. No, we're not going to talk that way to the coffee canister. I don't know. 3, 2, 1. Okay. So the number was 36. 35 is pretty close. Let's see if anybody got 36 or. Okay. 36. So that is Lee. Which you cheated. You got 2, but I'm still going to give it to you. So you have a question, Lee. He's so grumpy. I swear he talks. He was like, don't you get tired of being alone all the time? No, my dog talks to me endlessly. He talks to everybody. He talks to coffee canisters. He talks to cartoons. He talks to curtains. He talks to houseplants. I'm never going out some kind of noise. So what's your question, Mr. Lee? Okay. Ooh, so you're just open to whatever. You're going general. Ooh. You got a really weird feel to you right now. It doesn't feel bad. You got so many feels right now. It's like layered so quickly, right on top of each other. And there's this like emptiness. There's a void there. But at the same time, there's like a fear and an insecurity, but there's an excitement. It's almost like you're like standing on the edge of a precipice. Your energy is the Fool card. That's what it feels like. I'd be curious to see if it comes up in the spread. Just because you feel like the Fool right now. You feel like all new beginnings. You feel like total change. Just like you're going into an environment, you don't know it, but you're just kind of excited at the same time because you know at this point any change is positive change. Let's see if you get this. Okay. Some of those feels are coming across in these cards. First thing that comes up, you have the Four of Swords in a reverse position. So to me, this is a period, and to me, this feels more emotional with you. It feels more internal with you. You have the Four of Swords, it's in a reverse. So it's almost like for a long time you were in a dark place. And I think this is why I was feeling the void also, because it was like you were in a very, I hate to put it this way, kind of self-sabotaging in a way. It was like you didn't see the value of self. You didn't see the worth, and the worth of self. It's almost like you would get in your way when the positive was coming in. And it was just basically a whole destructive you, preventing things from working, preventing things from, doing what it needs to do. To basically allow you to have a positive, productive life. Understand what I'm saying? You ask for ancestors, and oh my gosh, do you have them? You have the Ten of Pentacles that come up right immediately, which is all about family, and it's about them coming together. So I really do feel like in some ways you're in a period of massive rebirth. And a lot of your old ideas, the ideals, the things that you thought, the patterns that you had that were negative, that were that whole Four of, Swords in the reverse, it's like that's being took away. It's being washed away. And okay, honey, we don't come in someone else's group and ask and try to get people to do readings. That's not cool. And if you were good, you wouldn't be like, I'm drawn to you. People would be drawn to you and come to you. So anyway. How do you block these fools? I'll figure it out. I'll come back in. So, like I was saying, it's almost like you're waking up. And I think that's where some of the newness is. That's where some of the void is. It's just this whole insecurities moving forward. That also explains to me why you had that Fool card that kept coming up energetically on me. Oh, gotcha. Well, I will block them on Facebook when I get to it. So you also have the Nine of Pentacles that comes up in a reverse position. And so to me, yeah, I know. So to me, it feels like, for a while, you speak about the ancestors, but I don't even think it's the ancestors as much as it was your own intuition. You wouldn't even listen to it. It's almost like it was trying to guide you and lead you in the right direction. And you were so pissed because things weren't turning out exactly how you had them laid out in your mind and how you wanted that end goal to be. You just were not even open. It's almost like a child throwing a tantrum. You didn't get what you wanted, how you wanted it. So you got pissed and you just decided you were going to self-sabotage everything the universe was throwing your way, not be no part of it, not accept any of it. Do you understand? Yeah, I know. Well, I have to go in and actually report the comments on Facebook. I think I know who this individual is. I had called them out on another reading page on Facebook. And I was like, if you're any good as a reader, you will have clients lined up. You don't have to go and stalk someone and send them a message saying, Spirit has got me drawn to you. They will come to you, Word of the wise. If you ever see that, don't contact those people because they are cons. I don't care if you find another legitimate reader and you don't want to work with me. If a reader comes to you, it's a con because that's not how we do it. That's not how professional, legitimate people do it. So if they message you to me, your ancestors have said something to me, or, your spirit says this, or you're cursed. No, they're fake. So like I said, if you don't agree with me or want to work with me, I got a list of good, legitimate psychics I'll send you to. Yeah, it sucks. That's one reason I'm not fond of broadcasting on Facebook. I may actually even go in and take the Facebook off of here. I just have to see how. I'm definitely going to block that one. But so yeah, Lee, get back to you. I don't even know if you're in here anymore. You poor thing. Okay. So basically what has happened is you had in your mind a set place goal you wanted to have, you wanted to achieve. It didn't happen how you wanted it to happen, so you got pissed. So as the universe was trying to give you things which could have been better than what you had even thought of, you were pissed because you didn't get what you wanted. And this is just an analogy. So you just decided you were going to block everything off. You weren't going to listen to spirits. You weren't going to listen to ancestors. You were just not going to be open and receptive to receiving blessings, anything. And so you were basically stabbing yourself in the back. That's the whole Four of Swords. And now that whole time is turned. It's like energetically, the energy just played itself out, basically. It's like you got tired and you realized that you were the one that was blocking you. Hey, Dina. So it's like you were just like, I'm not going to do this anymore. I'm tired of doing this. I realize I'm the problem. And so that's good because it allows you to start being conscious of the behaviors and shutting it down when you get in that place. And it allows you to start being receptive to things. I'm live on today's. Okay. And supposedly I'm live on YouTube also. I guess it's like every freaking where at one time. Okay. It's a mess today. You're live everywhere. Yeah, I guess in a way that is a perk because, that does help to build your other social medias up if that's what you're going for. So that's kind of cool. I don't know. I've never really focused on that. I've just like went with the flow. So, Lee, we're going to try one more time. You understood everything I've said so far about, you see the patterns, it's you're trying to consciously change it. Okay. So we've got the first 3 to 4 cards down. I just wanted to clarify, so I'm going to have to be repeating that again. Hey, put my rug down. You're not going to do that, okay? Okay. So the next thing that comes up, you've got the 4 of Cups. It's in a reverse position. So right now, that's telling me there's a lot of positive things that are going on around you. And energetically, you're in alignment to receive. If you reach a hand out and take it. Because that's that whole stubborn energy. If you look at this, the divine is, God, my nails dirty. I've been planting flowers. The divine is trying to bless you. God is trying to bless you with these gifts. And you're just sitting there arms crossed, not having any of it. You're just like, mm-mm. So you've got to get your head out your booty. Excuse me. Remember the app I'm on. And you have to start looking at things in a different perspective because the blessings are there. Because at this point, you are your only hiccup. You are standing in your way from achieving greatness or achieving your goals, whatever you want to call it. Okay. And so you just kind of have to be kinder and gentler. I feel like you are a major bitch to yourself. Excuse my language. Don't block me, apps. But I really do. I feel like you have been brutal to you for so long. It's like you tried to pick you apart and tear you down so much. It's like when the world wasn't doing it, you were doing it to yourself. And it's like you have just got exhausted. You know how it is? Like when you get really, really upset and you cry and cry and cry to the point you get the whole, we call them snubs, though, and you're just exhausted afterwards. That's kind of where your spirit is right now. It is like it is just drained. It is played out. It's been through the ringer. And you're starting to really, excuse me, be aware that it didn't have to be that way, that you let it be that way. Because instead of flowing with it, you fought because you didn't get exactly how you wanted it. And realistically, none of us ever get it exactly how we want it. We have our mindset on things. And even with manifestation, you can manifest a new car. But if you go and say, I want a brand new this year, this model, it's mission impossible. So if you just open yourselves up in a general direction toward what you want, it allows the blessings to come to you. It may not be ideally perfectly what you want, but it's good enough. It's that's the whole thing. You will not settle for anything. And it's because you see yourself or you think you're supposed to be this perfect little thing. You understand what I'm saying? So you're just angry as hell at yourself, tearing yourself apart because you look at it as, oh, I'm not perfect. I'm so screwed up. I'm so damaged. But you're not. You're so, put it this way. If you were a child and your mind was an adult, I would report your ass to CPS because you are brutal to you. You are totally brutal. And it's just awful. Really. Seriously. I would be like, oh my God. So you got to be kinder. And, I think that's part of the problem. I think you create expectations because they are so detailed and so tiny and so pinpointed. You're going to fail. I think you set yourself up to fail just so you can continue to kick your own ass. You need to stop it too. Go ahead, me calling spiritual CPS on y'all's ass. Let me get a drink. So basically, spirits want you to say, okay, Lee, chill the hell out. Be kinder to yourself. Be gentler to yourself. Be honest. And when you're setting expectations and limitations, you need to stop. The first question you need to even ask yourself is this realistic? Because like I said, you have these pinpoint, little bitty tiny, it's like you break it down to the smallest of details. So it will fail. You're that specific. Oh man, I order them by the case off of Amazon. So I have one whole shelf in my refrigerator that is a Starbucks double shot energy drinks. Oh dear, I saw that on your Facebook. To be kinder to yourself, be gentler to yourself, start listening. And don't be so fucking down to the detail. Don't. Because you're setting yourself up to fail. You are setting yourself up because you will, just so you continue to brutalize yourself and torment yourself emotionally. And so that's just not cool. I saw your picture that you posted on Facebook about that. And I'm sorry. Yeah, you need to because you're brutal to yourself. Now, someone made a donation. Dude's a dick. He lives behind me, and he brings squeaker toys out, and will squeak them at the fence and bark at him and all, just so he gets him going. I'm like, who does that? Who deliberately instigates the dog? One day I'm gonna let Luke's big ass tear him apart, or I'm gonna let Luke tell him off and just let Luke go there, rah 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 rah. Let him listen to his ass for 2 hours, talk about it. What is the coin thing on top for? I get the live. I don't know what it's great for on this side. Yep. She is still there. I will say, though, the last month and a half to 2 months, she has been much, much better than she was. She has, I think, out of the last 2 to 2.5 months, she's really flipped out once. I mean, she's had a couple episodes where she's tripped a little during the day, but I don't even really care about the daytime. My problem was if it's 3 o'clock in the morning, you shouldn't be screaming obscenities at the top of your lungs, repeating it, and beating on my wall to the point my TV falls off the mount and everything else. That's ridiculous. You know, you want to argue with your spouse during the day, I don't care. You want to argue with yourself during the day, I don't care. But live stream that. We have live streamed many videos. Chris had a bunch on her account. I'll have to get her phone back out and log in because the police had asked us, because they were like, okay, if nothing's being done and your manager at your apartment complex is doing nothing, you know, you can reach a point where you can actually go to the courts yourself if you have substantial proof, and you can petition the courts to have them evicted, and your landlord will have to pay for it and all. And so Chris and I had started, getting, every time the cops came out, we would get, police report numbers. We would get all of the information. We would record it all. And so I have to get on her account. It's logged in on her old phone, which it should be fine. It's not been used. I mean, and that's another thing. Can you believe she's going to be gone a year, the 11th? Mind blowing. Mind blowing. The last year has been wild. It does not feel like it's been a year. It really, really doesn't. I mean, because she passed away April 11th. Luke was born April 16th. And it's weird because the last year has been crazy in the sense, time in some ways have gone so quick, but in some other ways it feels like it has drug its feet. And it's weird because, in the last year, things have changed significantly with me as far as how I view things mentally, emotionally, the boundaries I had to set that I had not set in my life with people, with behaviors. Yeah, the last year was a roller coaster. I mean, between me getting COVID, you look, because even before Chris passed in November, she had that massive series of strokes that left her completely paralyzed on the right side. She had to learn to walk again, to talk again, to eat, because she was on feeding tube. She couldn't even eat. So when she did come home, it was a situation where she was completely paralyzed. And I was having to basically do everything for her. I knew COVID was going to screw up. I remember before Chris even passed, I made a video on Periscope, and it should still be there because they said the videos are there. If you have an account, you can log in and watch them. People were asking me my predictions for COVID, and every single thing I said in March of last year, what was the beginning of March? Yeah, the beginning of March, the end of February, came true. Every bit of it. And the last year's been wild. I've had 2 TIAs. I've dealt with Chris's death. I've dealt with my daughter overdosing twice, which today, for the first time ever, I managed to get her in an inpatient rehab facility. And it's dual diagnosis, so it will be dealing with the drug addiction issues as well as her, because she is mentally and emotionally handicapped. And so they have to be a dual diagnosis facility. It can't just be like your regular rehab. It has to be somewhere that will deal with the bipolar and oppositional defiance disorder also. She went into rehab today, and it's court ordered. So she's going to be there 90 days. And I've been begging the courts and the system in every possible way for 5 years to make this happen. And the lawyer called me last week, and she's like, Mrs. Black, we're going to do this. And so nightly, and it's not done yet. I don't want everybody to think, okay, everybody's getting vaccinated, things are going to be beautiful. There's still hiccups with this. But I need to just really take a look one day, meditate on it, and see what I see throughout the rest of it. But it's been wild. I mean, honestly, there were points in the last year because, like, for example, the week Chris had died, Chris passed away. 2 days later, one of my best friends had breast cancer in basically the same place. Everything is Chris. Because we had even joked. We was like, both of y'all got titty cancer in the same spot, the same place. She was on the table. She went to have the surgery. She died on the table the same exact way as Chris. And so I lost Chris 2 days later. I lost her. A day later, I lost my cousin. And then my daughter ended up being put in jail that week. And everything she owned, the man she was with dug it out into the yard and set it on fire. He killed one of her dogs. The other dog was in the process. She was like pregnant as can be. And so the mama dog and all 10 puppies came to a house. And so here I am. My wife's not even been dead a fucking week. My best friend died. My cousin died. I'm sick. You know, my daughter's been arrested. Everything she owned has been destroyed. You know, I just got dumped a dog that was basically feral. Feral, I think that's the right word. I love you too. And oh, Chris, I don't know who this person is. It just said Chris. So that's why I was asking earlier. It's like, hey, if you donated, let me know something. But yeah, it was hell. Okay, we'll get you. But yeah, and honestly, the first 3 months Chris was gone, there's periods I don't even remember because I was so overloaded. And with it being COVID, I had a friend, Johnny, God bless her. When Chris died, she came, she took me to the hospital like a deceased body, you know, Chris's body, come home. Johnny was here for an hour or two and then she left. And it was not like a typical situation where you have family that can come in and friends and you have funerals and you have wakes. And it was not a situation like that. So I literally lost my spouse and I was in a home by myself, complete quiet. And so it was just, I had to deal with it. And then I had complex PTSD and Stockholm syndrome, and Chris's passing and the circumstances around it triggered a lot of things from my youth I thought I had worked through. And so I had so much I had to figure out, deal with, and work through. And so that's one reason I haven't done a lot this last year as far as work, because I had to get me straight. Because if I'm not straight, how am I going to help somebody else if I'm a fucking train wreck? And so it's just been heal, peel another layer off, heal, peel another layer off, heal. And I mean, at this point, I'm definitely, you hear him tearing that bone up, I'm definitely in a place better than I've ever been in my life. And I have the space and the time and the energy, other than the physical body, to actually take care of me. And that's so beautiful. You know, because we have to all take care of ourselves. You can't, we're vessels. You can't pour from an empty vessel. You just can't. So, got to fill your vessel up. You got to take care of you. You got to love you. And so that's basically what I've been doing this year. You know, and I've had, because most of my money came from shows and things, and I couldn't do it, I did get to get unemployment. And so that helped because that allowed me to pay my bills. And so I didn't have to go and chase money. I could sit at home. In the last 4.5 months or so, I've had one client. And that one client pays me every week enough to pay my bills for the whole month. Well, not every week. It's just that in a month, they give me enough to pay every one of my bills. And so I'll take a client or two a week to pay my phone, or, you know, to pick up things I want on the store, or to get me plants on Etsy. You know, and seems to be my latest addiction, plants. Yeah. But it's nice and it feels good because I've never had an opportunity to just, oh my God, please. I'm going to have to go in and block her on the Facebook. I don't know how to report comments or whatever here. I don't even know if you can. So let's get you and get your question going. So let's get you situated. Did you want to go general? Did you want to go specific? Then I'm probably going to get off of here after this, just because I'm getting tired. I started to yawn. I did so much today. going to hit that one more time. There's some really... Okay. You know, I'm brutally honest. I always am in my reads. I don't think... Here's a service. Every single one of your cards come up in a reverse position, except for the Seven of Wands, which was your card. So that tells me right there with that Seven of Wands, even though you may have anger, you may have resentments, you still in a lot of ways are very, very much emotionally attached. And you're having a hard time with the separation for whatever reason. Okay. I don't know if you set it up or if he set it up or what, but there is this whole detachment, and it's you not feeling whole. It's you're struggling really with it. Their viewpoint, you have the Four of Wands in reverse, you have the Ten of Wands in reverse, you have the Three of Wands in reverse. That's all their cards, and the one common that plays in on both of you. Those all deal with the emotional struggle. The Four of Wands, for it to come up in a reverse situation on him, kind of makes me feel like they dissolved the relationship, because that's saying that they weren't happy, they weren't content, that there was just a dissatisfaction. It's almost as if for some reason in their mind the home was not like the happy home anymore. Do you understand what I'm saying? So will they contact you again at this point? Out of everything I'm seeing here, I don't see them really reaching out to you. I don't. And I just feel like right now there's this whole feeling of disconnect because I can't fully latch onto that person because that would be a violation. But I can, just off of the energy that's in the ethers or the energy that's on you, get a baseline in a way. There is this whole, I don't know how to explain it. It's almost like you're being punished. I don't know what that's about. I hope you understand it. The feeling to me is, I'm a parent, I have 3 kids. And I hated it when I had to punish my children, but I knew I had to for them to learn a lesson. It's almost like they're trying to teach you a lesson some way, somehow. And this is not like the universe teaching you this lesson, or your guides or the divine or any of that. It's almost like they're trying to teach you a lesson. So do you understand what I'm saying with that? And this feels like it's coming off of them. Well, that makes sense. Like I said, because the 4-1 made me feel like they had dissolved it, because there was just not a feeling of happiness, contentment. It's like the home felt like it was not accessible. So I don't know if he was trying to make you feel like he did that because, well, it's your fault. It's like I can totally see that. And it's almost like I said, I feel like they're trying to punish you. It's like I said, a child in a parent situation. It's almost like he treated you like a child and he was the parent. And it's very much because they said so, that kind of thing. Do I see them contacting you? No. At this point, like I said, it's almost like because they're trying to teach you a lesson. I don't know what in their mind the lesson is they're trying to teach you. But honestly, you're better off. I know you still have emotional attachment because of that 7 of Wands. But there is so much emotional sabotage in that relationship, even before the affair. And them, like I said, they're the adult, you're the child, kind of feel. And it's not a positive situation. It's not a good situation, It's, you need to really remove yourself energetically from that, and know, even though you may be alone right now, you're in a better place than you were with them. It was a very toxic situation. Even if you're not aware of it energetically, it's like you were screaming for attention. See me, hear me, touch me, feel me. And it's just emotionally vacant on the other side. So you are very much better off. So you don't need to deal with that. You don't need that. So is he going to contact you? No. He has no plans at this point. It's not in the energy. It's not in the atmosphere right now. None of that. Because like I said, it feels like he's trying to teach you a lesson. I hate to put it that way. I hope you understand it. I hope you know and can recognize the patterns. But you need to kind of let that go. You need to release yourself from that. Because you deserve better than, you know, your partner's supposed to be your partner. You're supposed to be level. You're supposed to come in it together. You shouldn't feel like a father scolding a child when you're in a relationship. You shouldn't feel like, you know, if you fuck up, you're going to be punished. It's not cool. You know, you shouldn't be blamed for their actions. You're just not cool. You don't deserve that. Can you get a reading? Well, I had said that was going to be my last one. I'm doing it by donation. I got the yawns. I got the yawns. I was doing it by donations through Cash App, PayPal, or Venmo. It's $5 or more. You're welcome. I'm sorry that sounded brutal, but I just, you know, I got to be honest. I can't bullshit somebody. I don't, you know, I can't. And I feel like you needed to know. I miss you and love you too. I'm so glad I'm seeing some of my Goon Squad, my people here from Periscope. It's awful. I miss Periscope. It's been gone one dang day. It's been gone one day, and it feels awkward. Haps does not feel like Periscope. It feels much more straight-laced and staunched collared. It's like, you keep tapping the screen. I don't know. I've got to get on here and figure things out. It's got like, I understand the live meter. I understand the eyeball. It's got money up there. Then it says great on top. I get the camera thing. So I don't know. Somebody had told me earlier that, you know, broadcasting on Twitter is a lot like broadcasting on Periscope. Excuse me. So my plan tomorrow is, depending on how quickly I get through my day, you can give awards. So depending on how, I can't. Maybe I receive them. I don't know. Oh, somebody gave me $1. Oh, so that's like a super heart. Except like you get money. Well, I'll be down. Oh, I gotta watch my mouth. Well, thank you, Alice. I'm gonna have to pick this thing apart. I have to pick it all apart, see what's going on. But yeah. Back to what I was saying. I'm gonna try tomorrow to see how the Twitter reads go, to see how it feels on there, because it's supposed to be set up like Periscope, and just kind of play with it. Which, you know, as I get used to this app, because I remember when I first got on Periscope too, it felt really foreign because I had not really broadcasted in the other places. Well, I had, but not like in that way. So we'll just have to kind of check it out and see. Alrighty, every 1,000 coins is $1. So you gave me 1,000 coins? Or her Twitter sucks. God dang it. We're just all going to have to get together and everybody like scout around. Look for like an app that's really good. Well, thank you, Miss Allison. And we'll have to come and report back to each other. This fool, Heidi Schroeder, inboxed me for accurate reading. Okay. I'm going to have to block them. I'm hoping Twitter Live is a thing. Well, jump on in here, Dina. I am doing it by donations, though. So, and you're probably going to be my last one for the night because I'm starting to get yawns. I'm starting to get tired. And I got to scrub my nails. I'm planning like it's still going to pop up because it's on Facebook. Ugh. Then I got to go clean my nails. I didn't realize I still had shit under my nails. Well, it's not shit. It's pot and soil. But it's, ugh. I have OCD, and the only thing that's really bad is when I have stuff under my nails, I can't stand it. I used to go get French manicure kits, and then I learned how to do it myself. So I would have the pretty little white tip, and I couldn't see if anything was under my nail because I would clean out from under them constantly to the point I would make them raw. So yeah, if it was covered, it looked beautiful. Let me see if what the hell I can do with this. You can invite people to Beam Up and Talk. Well, I tried to invite Vicky earlier, and it said to invite her, and it didn't let me. You go fuck them up, Allison. You tell them. Report out in comments. She got my back. Invite me. Add guests. Oh, shit. Hold on, I gotta get back up to this person. Invite user. Boop. I clicked invite user. So I don't know if you got to do something on your end or how that works. Let me click it again. Unsubscribe to user. No, I don't want to do that. Oh, there we go.
Hello.
Hold on a second. I got to go get Luke.
Start your time.
Here.
Can you guys see me? I know my lighting's not that great because it's dark in my house.
Hold on. I got to get dude man in the house. Come here, buddy.
Hi, everyone.
Lee, come here. Will you beat me to it? Oh, Roxy. All right, come on. Now I can see you. You're just really tiny.
Sorry,
There we-
but if you go to live show, then you can see me.
Oh,
Maybe. No.
I don't- All right.
If I click on you, you're big.
I
don't see myself, but that's okay. You can hear me.
Yeah, I can hear you fine. But now I see you when I can hear. Hello.
You know, they're like little thumbnails. They're really tiny unless you go to show live, but sorry about that.
You're fine.
Welcome to my world. Cuckoo clock.
I
On
know.
the half and on the hour.
I'm used to them. I've seen your broadcasts and talked to you enough. I know how it is.
Anyways, I feel really disconnected. Like I don't feel spiritual any. Like I don't know what happened.
Let's take a peeker. You look nice. Have you been losing weight?
Can you tell just by my face? Yeah.
Yeah, I can tell just by your face. It's slimmed up. You got dimples coming in.
Well, sometimes it does and sometimes it doesn't. But 25 and a bit pounds later, yes.
Well, you're doing good. You can definitely tell.
Thank you. Well, I feel really good too.
Well, there you go.
I got another 5 to 10 pounds to go and then I'm good.
Well, you're doing amazing.
Well, I appreciate that.
Let's see. Maybe that's okay. Here's the situation. You say you just feel disconnected. Dead center. Can you see that?
Yeah, but I'm not a tarot reader, so I don't understand the tarot.
The high priest, most powerful most powerful woman in the deck. That is someone who's highly in tune, highly connected. So, you know, I think that, okay, looking at all the cards, this is what my feel of the situation is. First thing that comes up is the Knight of Pentacles. It's in a positive position. Well, thank you, Miss Kelly. Look at you. So with it being in the Knight of Pentacles in a positive position, it's upright. He's looking forward. I think part of it is the situation where you just said you're losing weight. Your whole perspective, like with Lee, you're shifting. Your thinking processes are shifting. How do I explain this? Okay. You know how, like, if you've watched me enough, you know how, like I say, like with the Wheel of Fortune, you have that whole 18-month upcycle and then it plateaus.
Okay.
Spiritually, physically, as human beings, we have cycles. And we build and we build and we build, then we plateau for a while to kind of let us get used to being in our skin. Because when you're building and rapidly changing, you don't have time to adjust and to get used to who you are. You understand what I'm saying?
Okay.
So you're at a plateau period. You build and build and build and build and build. So now everything you've picked up mentally, emotionally, spiritually, even physically is kind of balancing out, letting you adjust to it and kind of understand it fully before you move to the next level. It's not gone anywhere. You're
Okay.
where you're between levels, so to speak. So
Okay.
what you used to do and how you used to operate feels foreign. It feels kind of stupid in a way
Mm-hmm. Doesn't
because
feel like I can even do it.
it just doesn't make sense. That's the way of it. And you
Right.
have tools and ways to do it another way, another perspective, another route, but you feel fake or it doesn't make sense to you because you feel like you're not competent enough to go and do it that new way. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Okay.
And so you're at that level. What you're going to have to do is, and buddy, I had the door opening. You wanted to be Cujo. You got to stop that. Can you chill for a minute? Okay. Thank you.
Well, you know what that is? Remember when you used to broadcast and somebody was sitting on your couch and they always had little digs or throw the, do you remember that? When you had somebody sitting on your couch and they always had something to say, well, now it's your dog.
He is mouthy as hell, isn't he?
But where do you think he gets it from?
I haven't a clue.
But but what I'm saying is every time you broadcasted before, we could hear this little voice in the background making little comments to what was going on, and I loved it. Or they would appear behind you. They would sneak up behind you. You know who I'm talking about?
Yeah, I used to have orbs and I would have things move behind.
No, 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 no. No, I'm talking about the person that you were just talking about earlier. It's been almost a year.
Oh, Chris.
She always had little comments and little things to say. I loved it.
I know. It's like he was born 5 days after she passed.
Yeah. Oops.
And it's wild because I told him earlier, I was like, I am confident you and Chris are in cahoots because you do shit to get on my nerves just like she used to do. It wasn't that she was being a, but she would pick on me. If she knew something aggravated me, she would do it not to be a pain, but just to kind of get me riled up because she thought it was funny. And
Mhm.
he does it. So it's like, I know they're like picking on me together, but
Mhm.
it's just funny. But yeah, the whole thing with you is right now you're in between levels. You're getting ready to move forward. So everything that you used to do doesn't fit, doesn't make sense to you. It
So
feels
I'm
fake.
not going to be, does that mean I'm not going to be a medium anymore? Because,
No,
or,
there's just different levels. Okay. It's like you're a medium, period. It never goes away. It never stops.
right. That's what I've been told. Yes.
Your understanding of how to use it develops. So it's just like if you're a first grader, you're not going to have second grade understanding or fourth grade understanding or fifth grade understanding. You have to grow and progress. If you're in school, you're learning and learning and learning, then you have summer break. Then you go
Mhm.
back to school and you grow and grow and grow again. You're basically on summer break. It's letting you balance out, understand yourself, see the tools and tricks you had, how you were using them, ways you could have used them different or better. And so when that second upswing hits, you have that knowledge stored there and it allows you to continue to grow. So
Mhm.
I love
Hey,
you too.
Lisa.
So
I
you,
also felt like when I was the last time I broadcasted and I was trying to do some readings, nothing connected, nothing. But then I was another time just before that, I was doing some one card pulls and I was getting a lot more information on those one cards. Like it wasn't even, it was the card a little bit, but then I was going, no, 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 it's this and this and this. So that was
so
changing.
here's what I want you to do because I'm going to give you some homework. Because I love you and I've been pushing you since the get go to do this and to grow because I see all that in you. You said you felt good doing the one cards. and you were getting more information off of it. Maybe you need to quit putting so much in the tools and what the tools say, and just lay that one card and see what comes up within you.
That's what I was thinking too. Yes.
Because maybe you're getting to the point where you can get the whole picture off of a card or two cards. Maybe you don't, maybe that's the next step, you know? So just kind of be cool to you. And I'm going to let your butt back out, doggo. But yeah, just do one card pulls. Or, you know, not even do a card. Just kind of open yourself up, ask the question, or let someone else ask the question. And then just kind of see what the answer comes. See how it feels.
Okay.
I mean, the whole point is you're evolving, you're growing. Which means, you know, and when it comes to skills and abilities, even me, I get these upgrades. And it's not something like, okay, you got it, you're done. It's a
right. No, I know you're always learning something. Yeah.
Exactly. And so it's just, it's constantly changing. The only thing that does happen is constant change. I don't have an. So
I have another random thing to bring to you. Since March the 12th, I was laying in bed, and this happens only in bed, and it's happened 3 times where I felt like somebody's knocking on the top of my head, or something like it's just like boom on the top of my head, and I think I'm asleep when it happens, and then it wakes me up, you know, like I'm just coming into an awake time. So I don't know if that's me coming back in, because I felt my spirit or whatever one time go whoosh right into my body. So I knew that was me coming back from a travel.
That's
so this is like,
because does it feel like an actual like a tap, or does it feel like something being like dropped in, like the impact?
No, well, it just feels like this. All of a sudden it's just like, you know, like somebody's kind of, but it's only a one thing. Like it just happens like boom once.
That's probably just you coming back in. That's yeah. If you're just, because you have to understand, when you're meditating, you are reaching the same level of brainwave activity as you are in a sleep state.
Right. I just wondered if it was a spirit or somebody trying to, like somebody trying to get my attention, like, wake up, girl, wake up.
I don't think so. I think that you're because you're in that comfortable state. You're in that semi state. I think that you're just more susceptible to getting in and out of body. And so I think that because when you snap back in, it's almost like you snap in.
Yeah.
And I think that's what it is. I think it's you snapping back into consciousness, because it feels like there's a clear difference between, like, and I'm busting this off my personal experience. The snap happens, and then it's like, I'm there, I'm awake, I'm clear. But before that, not clear thinking. It's not me being conscious and aware. Like, my thoughts are not my own. You understand what I'm saying?
Yep.
And so I think that's you just snapping back in. I think what you're feeling is kind of the jolt of you coming back into vessel. That's normal.
At the top of my head, it's almost like, you know, if you're slammed up to your headboard, that's the kind of feeling. It's like you're, instead of being pushed up to your headboard, the headboard sort of pushes to you. It's like,
it's going to happen in your head, because your head is crown chakra.
Yes. So maybe that's where I'm getting a bunch of downloads.
Well, yeah, if you get downloads, though, usually you get pressure in the back of the head. You get buzzing in the ears.
I've been getting buzzing in the ear, and what I've been saying is make it loud and make it clear so I can understand you. And the minute I do that, it disappears.
That's because you're putting too much energy into it. When you become aware of it and you direct your energy at it, you have to learn how, like, when it's hard to explain.
Okay.
Let me try to put words to this. Okay. That's like, okay, for example, when you're reading, they say the first thing that comes to mind, because it just, boom, it's out there. But when you start thinking about it, you start double thinking it, and you start, that doesn't make sense. You put you into it. You understand?
Mm-hmm.
That's because in that first moment, whatever comes through your first thought doesn't have you in it. It's divine led. How do I, how do I tie this for you together? Okay. I don't even know how to explain this fully. When are like saying, okay, oh, I'm aware of it. When you first initially hear it and you're like, oh God, I'm having downloads. Your first thought is, I have to cut the logical brain on. I have to cut me on instead of just being separate and letting it flow through, which is what's happening, because it doesn't happen when you're in the middle of stuff. It'll usually be like when you're just not focused on much of anything and you're out of your way. You understand?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
The minute you pull you into it and you're like, oh shit, I'm having a download. I have to understand this. I need to understand it. I got to get clarity. And you start asking questions, it brings the conscious physical self into the equation. And that automatically cuts spirit off. So
Okay.
you've got to learn how to be conscious and aware of it, acknowledge it, because even if you don't comprehend the download and what it is in that moment, the information will still be within you. And
Okay.
it may not even be a download for what's here now. It may be for something that's coming in the future. So
Right. Right.
you just kind of take the information in. So when those start happening, instead of saying, okay, let me think about this, I've got to get it to where I can hear it, just say, okay, I acknowledge it. And just
Okay. So just acknowledge it. Okay, I get it.
that way, uh, I'll report them, and we can report them on Facebook, the links and all that. Maybe they'll go away. But just acknowledge it. Don't try to put thought into it. Don't even try to understand it at that point. Because the moment conscious mind comes into it, you start basically changing your brainwave patterns and the frequency you're at. And the message is going to cut off.
Okay.
You understand what I'm saying?
Absolutely. Absolutely. I get that.
Good. Because I was trying to find words to break it down and explain it. I'm
No,
glad you,
that makes total sense to me. That I understand that.
because I was like, shit, how am I going to put this into words? Because it's going to be hard if this is not what she's experiencing to feel it.
No, 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 because I know it's because it's always in my mostly in my left ear. It even happened when I was at the beach today. It came. I could hear this frequency. It's like another frequency.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So I just have to acknowledge it rather than say make it loud, make it clear, or whatever. Just acknowledge that.
Right. It's not funny. It's funny. I'm just not gonna block till you read the comments on Facebook. That works. I'll go in and I'll block them all. But the way I look at it, these people come in, they troll your Facebook. They don't realize that a lot of your live videos on these sites, the comments, when they come in and make comments, helps you get seen. And so, it's like when I used to broadcast, I can't remember what site it was. I used to do it when I first got on a Periscope as well. People would come in and they would troll hard. But what they didn't realize is, made a comment or said something stupid, it just moved me up further in the rankings. So I wouldn't say shit to them. I would just let the comments stay up there because it was benefiting me, them being an ass. And most of the time they would get tired after a minute or two and just go away. Good God.
Well, thank you for the reading. I appreciate it.
You're welcome. I think I'm going to get off of here and check out my Facebook profile. Like I said, to the people on here, if you were on Periscope before, have the same name on Twitter. I'm probably going to broadcast there tomorrow night just to test the waters. Capital S, capital A, _ Abby Black. Find me on there. Follow me. I'll be back here too. We'll see what's going to happen. You see me there? Well, I'll be there tomorrow at some point. Like I said, I'm not going to pick a time because I've got so much to do tomorrow. I don't know when I'm going to be done. So I don't want to set a time, but it'll probably be about 8 tomorrow night.
Okay.
Well, I love all you people. And I will talk to you later.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Bye-bye.